that tomorrow.
They're stickers, but I don't know how I feel about it.
We are excited to have a studio full of amazing women singers, so powerful. We've got Katy Tessman, Emmy Woods, and Laura Hugo. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, maybe I could give you each an opportunity to just tell folks, we've talked to many of you in different iterations before, but people know your voice then, and just tell us, how you doing? What are you looking forward to? What's coming up?
All right, I am Katy Tessman, and Saturday we've got a show coming up, and it is my green room debut. Super excited. Yes.
Awesome.
And sitting next to me is Emmy Woods.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Emmy Woods, and I am very excited for the March 23rd show. I think it's going to be really fun. And I guess I grew up in a little town in North Dakota, and I've been living in St. Paul for about 10 years, and I love it. So excited to be sharing a show with these two, as well as Claire Doyle.
Yes. I love anybody who lives in St. Paul.
And then our third guest with us here is Laura Hugo.
Hi. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for our show on Saturday. If you have no idea who I am, that's okay. I'm originally from Arizona, from the Navajo Reservation, and I moved here in 2010 and have just been playing around the Twin Cities, just trying to do the thing and learning a bunch and having a great time.
Well, and you've played a couple of fun tribute shows this year.
Yes. I get to do Shania and Dolly. This year was my first time doing Dolly, and it was... It terrifies me to do anything that doesn't involve me having like an instrument. So I'm learning throughout these cool shows that I get to be a part of how to just like sing into a microphone. I don't know what to do with my hands, but I'm learning.
That does have to be different.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's fun. It's getting there.
You do a great job.
Oh,
you always do a great job. And I have to give a nice nod out to the Little Too Short to Be Stormtroopers, because there's always a fundraiser for Women's March and for ERE Minnesota, and for that I am thankful.
And they're all just wonderful people.
So, and it's always, again, it feels so good to have strong women on the stage. So, you know, it just is, it's fun to see.
It is, and to be surrounded by most of the people that, I admire all of them. Like, I fangirl over everybody who's a part of that, so I'm just like, I'm happy to be here. This is great.
Yeah, absolutely. When I approached the green room and said, what do you think about having a showcase of women in March, because it's Women's History Month? And they're like, yeah, do it. So messaged Emmy Woods and Laura Hugo and Claire Doyle, and they all said yes. So I will be a fangirl most of the night too. Yeah.
That does have to be fun, when you can enjoy your time on stage, but then enjoy just, because it's like asking a chef what their favorite restaurant is. They don't know, they're working every night.
Right.
You know, and same for you folks. You know, you can only get out and see so many other people when you're playing yourself.
Yeah.
So that's got to be half the excitement.
It is. It is half the excitement. Absolutely. Yeah. We're all going to be joined by our bands. And my guitar player is my son. So Louis Tessman Stanek says, I don't know if Claire Doyle knows who I am, but she will after Saturday.
She's going to leave his mark.
Yes, because she works with some players that he admires. So there's some players in her band that he knows. Yeah. So it's kind of fun.
That is always the start of the magic.
Yeah.
And then
Building.
you're setting up, you're getting to meet people. That's...
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to jump right in and say,
No.
hey, could we implore upon someone to play a song?
You bet.
Awesome.
I will play a song. This has poetry by Emily Dickinson woven in to my lyrics, and I wrote it in her perspective. From her poetry, we realized that she didn't ever want to be famous. And I'm sure she's shocked that we're talking about her today. And so the title is one of a line from her poem called Nobody Knows Me. watching the bumblebees. And then you walked in the room and I started to swoon. I said, no, nobody knows me. I am alone. This is what I chose. Forever I'm living in the nows. No one really knows. And then you walked in the room and I started to swoon. I said, no, nobody knows me. Nobody knows me. Hope is a feathered thing, it perches in the soul and sings. Who are you? Are you nobody too? Then we make quite the pair. We can travel to nowhere. Let's go in June. Oh, you walked in the room and I started to swoon. I said, no, nobody knows me. Nobody knows me. Nobody knows me.
Nice.
Katy Tessman, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have like a two-part question. What inspired you to sing about Emily Dickinson?
Well, she is a fabulous poet and a woman, so I think that's enough criteria right there. But yes, there was a brand new biography, children's book, illustrated biography about her that had come out, Words with Wings, that I just was like, oh. So I read that in like 21 or 22 recently. And then there's an Apple TV show, Apple-produced TV show called Dickinson. And it was period setting and costumes, but contemporary language. And then I just fell in love with this perspective of this woman who is really in touch with death and really in touch with nature and loves her brother and her sister, and she's in love with Susan. And she had a great relationship with her father and never moved out. Her mom, you know, of course, she was trying to be traditional, but and that her sister loved her and her poetry so much that, and then knowing that Emily Dickinson's poetry was published by her sister after Emily had passed away. It was just super inspiring.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, in the follow-up, where do you get your inspiration? Are there certain things? Do things strike you, or do you set out intentionally to find inspiration?
Well, 25 years ago, I was a performing singer-songwriter. So before I became a mom, I wrote lots of songs about relationships gone wrong. And, I get to break up with this person and write a new song. And that's what I did in my 20s and early 30s. But now, with everything that I have done and experienced with motherhood and surviving cancer and heartbreak, I'm inspired to write in a little different perspective, being a 50-something woman. I'm participating in the Songwriting Challenge group in Facebook. And so that is where we get a prompt, usually a word, and then I'm able to take that word and write a song, something about what has been brewing in me for the week. Yeah.
I always think, I mean, I can't write songs, but I'm like, I should do that with poetry. I love
Yes.
the idea of it.
Yes.
It kind of, it's like having a partner that makes you go to the gym.
It is, yes. This winter the prompt word was constellation. And so I wrote a love song for my girlfriends because of Pleiades is the seven sisters.
Nice.
And so how do you do that? You put it into a song and then you go, "Mwah, I love you, girlfriends."
Awesome.
Yeah.
Emmy, would you like to play a song?
I would love to play a
That would
song.
be great.
Yeah. Just making sure my guitar stayed in tune here. I'm gonna play one for you that is called "With Him," and it's an unrequited love song, and I wrote it after I fell really deeply in love with a friend of mine who was very straight and very married, and so I just kind of had to accept that it was never going to happen. But I think it taught me how to love in a really, I think, different and beautiful way, and I wanted to honor that with a song, so I wrote this one. You and I will never be, but I love you still, so it would seem. So if you hear this song on the wind, just know it's enough for me that you're happy with him. 'Cause I wouldn't change you, even if I could. I just hope that he loves you as much as I would. Flowers every Sunday, I'd save one for your hair. And if laughter were currency, I'd make sure we were millionaires. And I'd never cheat, could never be me. I just thank every star you chose me. Oh, you and I will never be, but I love you still, so it would seem. So if you hear this song on the wind, just know it's enough for me that you're happy with him.
Emmy Woods, that's lovely. That's lovely. I applaud the bravery of that song.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. No, how did your friend like that song?
I did not play it for her. In fact, I
Oh,
don't think she
that's
has any idea that it's about her. Yeah.
Well, what's her name? No. But still, to play. I mean, that is revealing a lot in a song, and it's just it gives everyone a tug at their heart. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was a situation where it was like it didn't feel like sometimes some feelings you keep to yourself, and I think it was definitely a situation where it was like I'll channel it into a song, and I have enough friends that no one needs to know who it's about.
That's good. This is how dumb I can be. I remember, and I'll just say that Jeremy Messersmith is sitting next to me, and I tweet something like, I think I'm standing next to stinking Jeremy Messersmith, except not stinking, but that's radio friendly. no one more on Twitter that Jeremy messers with looks at me right in the eye. He's like, "Yep." I'm like, "Oh, geez." And that's not a song. I've said nothing revealing other than "ooh."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Outed myself. I'm going to ask you the same question about inspiration. I mean, you've given us the inspiration for this song, but where do you usually get inspiration? Are you searching for it, or does it come knock you on the head?
I just kind of let it roll. You know, if I'm going through something, and a lot of times music is my way of sort of processing it. I think that last song is a great example. But I also, I don't know, I draw on a lot of, sometimes I like to kind of, I don't know, I write ghost stories a lot too, and I have a few of those, and I don't necessarily know where those come from. I guess I just have a sort of
like
fascination.
ghost stories that you hear a ghost story, then, or you make a ghost, or you run into a ghost. I mean, I would say that I'm partly joking, but partly not, because sometimes you walk into a space, you're like, oh my gosh, it's so cold in here. So like,
yeah. A little. I mean, it depends on the song. I have one song called "Pushing Up Daisies" that is like told from the perspective of a ghost, which I don't know. I couldn't tell you what inspired that. I just like sat down and started singing it one day, and I was like, this is kind of weird, but I'm gonna stick with it. But then "Ballad of Lake Superior," which you can stream online, is one that I wrote when I was living on Lake Superior, and someone told me just kind of a spooky story about shipwrecks in the lake, and it kind of got me thinking about like how water and nature kind of hold our stories sometimes, and I went home and I just kind of felt, I just kind of started writing that song, and I don't know, so I don't know if it's I doubt it's a true story. I don't know. I guess it's possible I was channeling a ghost.
Yeah. Well, Lake Superior, with the mist on it, and there have been so many, famously the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, but so many others too. It feels like it is full of energy.
Definitely, yeah. So I think I was drawing on that energy, I guess. Yeah. So yeah,
that's cool.
Thank you,
Laura. Can I ask you?
Yeah.
How can we put this mic so that it's right? Is that good for you?
Yeah, that's good.
That always makes excellent radio. How would you like to put this?
So should I just go? I guess?
Yeah, please. Well, you can. I'll ask you about the song after, or you can tell us before, whatever you're most comfortable with.
Sure. I found that a lot of the songs that I write stem from like, I don't know, deep guttural feelings of loss or unrequited love or heartbreak, and so it's kind of been a thing where I've had like a weird string of losses in my life, and I've kind of just, in order to process through that, just kind of into my song, you know what I mean?
Awesome.
But this is a song called "Tonight," and I wrote it about a friend. Oh, should I take this off? Does that make a difference? Wrote it about an experience with a friend who passed away about 5 years ago. And this is just kind of the experience in the hospital. All I can see is a room where good things could be, and where you are smiling at me, where good things could be. I know you're right here, but I'm missing you something fierce, and I'm holding back all of these tears. I know you're right here, so I'm gonna stay here again tonight. I'm gonna stay here again tonight. things I could say. Without all that noise in the way, and I've been watching you fight it all day. The things I could say, but I'm gonna stay here again tonight. I'm gonna stay here again tonight. I love you the most, and I wish I could see you grow old. And I don't think I can let you go. I love you the most, and I would have stayed here again tonight. I would have stayed here again tonight. I would have stayed here again tonight.
Laura Hugo, there's not a dry eye in the studio now.
It really isn't.
It is. I mean,
Wonderful.
anyone who's spent the time doing that, I mean, I'm sure for each of us in the room, we have our own vision of what that's like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, loss is the universal feeling, and I kind of was joking about being like the grief queen of songwriting, because a lot of them, A, are in 3/4, and B, are about grief and loss. But I mean, those are the big feelings that you kind of, if there's a way for you to process them, that's incredible. And for me, that's songwriting. And I loved hearing where Katy and Emmy get their inspiration, because I always love hearing how people, if it's like you need to have like an epiphany and you're like, oh my God, this is the moment, or if you're like, I'm gonna sit down and write a song today and it's gonna, and I can't do it that way. I've kind of just needed to have a moment, and I'm kind of just a dreamy person with my head in the clouds all the time anyway, so I'm always inspired by everything that's happening around me, as cheesy as that sounds, but just the beauty in humanity and the not beauty in humanity. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just humanity and humanity. I mean,
Humanity and
especially when you're
humanity.
talking about such grief. Is it? I can understand the writing. I mean, I couldn't do it, but I can understand writing it, the process, going through the process. But what is it like to play the songs later? Is it cathartic, or do you move away from it?
Is a very good question. I honestly haven't written full songs in a couple years, actually, but these songs, in the process of writing them, there's a lot of crying, there's a lot of like, I need to go take a break, and it's also just a lot of remembering what you're writing about and placing yourself in those situations and trying to convey in any way you possibly can how that experience was. And this song in particular, it took me a little while to be able to play it without like choking up, or I can't do the thing they do in the movies where they cry and they can just keep singing. My voice is like
Pretty cry. Yeah.
Pretty cry.
Pretty cry. I'm like, is
That's
that
a myth.
real?
That's a myth.
Hollywood. But it's I think about that a lot, because even I wrote this song about 5 years ago, and it's taken me that long to be able to like just, all right, I'm just gonna whip this out real quick.
Yeah.
But there's never a moment where I'm not like placing myself back in that experience, but it's come to a point where it's healing and cathartic, and it's like, that sucked, but there are so many beautiful things involved with that too, and just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like constantly humbling yourself and being like, in a way of like, you know, enjoy things and be present and reflect on these horrible things, but remember the beauty of the people and the experiences you had with them. And it's just, yeah, I'm definitely feeling them still when I play them, but now it's a little more, it's a little easier to sing them. But
That's good.
yeah, that's a very good question.
Yeah, the beauty of the relationship, because you've boxed it so nicely rather than shoving the feelings to your toes and
Yeah.
not getting it out to share.
And I'm very good at suppressing my feelings.
Yeah,
So
that's I'm always in
a job for therapy.
Yeah.
Well, and such a nice testament to your friend. But there does come a point. This song would have been 30 years ago. Would have been when you still feel it. I mean, I hear you sing about a different situation, but you still feel those hours and hours and hours at the hospital. But you know, I think for so many people. But I think there's a time where you pivot. I mean, you go through the stages of grief, and then eventually, like, I was just thankful to know that person.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and the beauty of you to share that with others, both to share your friend, but also to share the experience, because people need to know that you do get through it.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm this, like, hey, I'm the goal for the other end or anything, but I was nervous to play songs like this and to be really kind of dark and twisty, but then over time I realized people have come up to me and said, like, hey, I've had a very similar experience, and it's definitely not a weird thing to sing about. And I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that, because they're sad things, and I have some songs about unrequited love, and they're funny now, and kind of like, it's just my song Not Even a Little Bit, I wrote that about a friend that I fell in love with, and oh god, he doesn't live around here anymore, it's fine, but I did at one point, he did find out about my feelings a little bit, but he had moved away, and I think it was maybe 4 years ago or something, I told him that Not Even a Little Bit was about him. But I told him I exaggerated the feelings, which I did not, but he still responded with, like, let me go, I think I only had a live video of it out, and he's like, let me go watch that real quick, and he came back and he was like, I'm so sorry. Like, that's okay, it doesn't hurt my feelings as much, but it's an interesting balance, and I love hearing songwriting process from both of you, and writing, like, I want to experiment more with writing, like, story songs, or, but I'll continue to pull the things out of experiences as well. But.
Well, but you should learn to write about happy things, so happy things happen. You know what I mean? It's great to have a catharsis.
Absolutely.
But and it's great to be able to, what is it, make hay when the sun shines or whatever, like, make the most of things, but yeah.
Absolutely, and I will have some happier songs out eventually. They're not all super depressing. They're kind of, some are sarcastic, but.
No, just all of them. And it is fun to hear how the process is the same and the different for different folks.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep the music rolling.
All right.
Because otherwise we're going to run out of time.
Okay, we're walking behind
Who's
you.
the next contestant?
Thank you. I will do a song, but I want to check the tuning. While I tune, should we talk a little bit about our big showcase on Saturday?
Please do.
So Saturday night, 323.
323.
323. We will be performing at the Green Room in Uptown Minneapolis. It's a new venue.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's big.
It's beautiful.
Yes, and clean.
Yeah.
And the folks have done a really good job with that. And the show is called The Leading Ladies of Americana. And so it will be me, Katy Tessman, and my band. Katy Tessman and the Turnbuckles. And then Emmy Woods with her band, the Red Pine Ramblers. Laura Hugo, does your band have a name?
Not quite yet. Okay. Not quite yet.
And Claire Doyle, I asked if her band has a name, and she said, yeah, we're called Claire Doyle. Now, this was
solid.
Yes, now this was a text, so I added the inflection, like we always do when we read something, yes. Yeah, and so I'll play, I do have a song off my album that I released in October called Tulips and Daffodils, And I do tell people that, trigger warning, it's about grief. So if grief is new in your life, get ready for a cry.
Oops, I forgot to do that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's just fine. But today I will play the single that I released before the album. It's called Vines, and it's about love. I can knock it down, cut it back, I can try, but it will always reach for the sky, searching and longing, demanding to fly. But most times it leads to goodbye. Mumbling and fumbling, mangled and tangled. Mumbling and fumbling, mangled and tangled. It falls hard when it hits the ground, breaking free from where it was bound. Does love choose, or is it simply found? Because it keeps coming around, mumbling and fumbling, mangled and tangled, mumbling and fumbling, mangled and tangled. Relentless, determined, twisted and tough, connected, persistent, oh love, mumbling and fumbling, mangled and tangled, mumbling and fumbling, mangled and tangled. You want to sing along? Mumbling and fumbling, mangled and tangled, mumbling and fumbling, mangled and tangled. I can knock it down, cut it back, I can try.
It is Katy Tessman. We've got a few folks in the studio today. We've got Katy Tessman, Emmy Woods, Laura Hugo on mostly Minnesota music on WMCN 91.7 FM in St. Paul. Got that.
Yay!
Yay! That's such a positive ending to a song. Just love that. I can.
I can try.
I can try.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, I'm accelerating the pace only so that I know that everybody gets to play
Excellent.
the song. Emmy, would you honor us?
I will. Since I mentioned Pushing Up Daisies earlier, and so that was a ghost story, I think I'm going to play that
Awesome.
one. Yeah. It's spooky. So if you don't like spooky stuff. Pushing up daisies, hoping you would tell me what stood for me. But I'm 6 feet under.
Woods. That was lovely. I think you should do a whole album of Ghost.
Oh, you have that.
I would
Yeah.
love
All the inspiration you
to.
need at any cemetery, just go and hear that. Yeah, I love the idea of that. That just is so much. Be getting in the spirit of accelerated, getting everybody's song in.
Yes.
Hey, Laura, would you like to play a song?
Oh my gosh. I thought it'd be fun. Oh gosh, I don't know where to put this. I thought it'd be fun to do an older, I mean like the first full song I wrote when I moved here. About my ex, who I moved here with. And I had my first big heartbreak when he wanted to go home to visit his family and I couldn't go with. And so he got into a yellow taxi cab to get to the bus station and never saw him again. I found out, he kind of strung me along for months, and I always wonder if he'll ever hear me talk about it.
We can make it happen.
Strung me along. And then I found out later from his family that he was actually with this girl immediately after he got off the bus, and it's a girl that he found on MySpace and was flirting with, that I caught him flirting with. Anyway, this is called Dear. Nope. Dear. You drove away in your yellow taxi cab and never came back. Long distance phone calls, my chest aching with absence. I need you. I was once yours, dear, and you were once mine. What's the difference between finding love and falling? I've hit the ground. Never thought I would say I'm better off without you. Was I that hard to love? I cannot stay here in this home we made together. I wake up alone. I'm done pretending. I heard she's beautiful, like I used to be. I was once yours, dear, and you were once mine. What's the difference between finding love and falling? I've hit the ground. Never thought I would say I'm better off without you. Was I that hard to love? All the time spent, all the words said,
Hugo. Way to make some beautiful lemonade out of some lemon stories.
You know,
Yes.
I can thank the haters. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think I've ever said that sentence about I'm nervous.
I love the lyric. Was I that hard to love? Holy buckets! I was like, oh,
This
look at
I
me.
know.
This mama says no. You are not hard to love.
Oh, those people really get into your soul, and then they're like, "Nah, just kidding," and you're like, "But what? I'm a nice lady."
I don't know. Too close. Again, I'm trying to, because I think we want to hear one song from by Claire Doyle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should we play it? Okay.
We love Claire.
We love
Yes.
Claire. We love Claire. And we're going to play You and My Guitar.
I did see that they had it was.
She has swears in her other songs.
Yeah.
She said,
Yeah.
"Can you play the catch?"
Oh my God, I
And we
forgot about
can't-
it.
And yeah, so we can't play that here.
Yeah.
And as we're still live streaming so that we can finish it, just
Yes.
so you can drop an F-bomb now if you want.
Oh, cool.
But just so you don't say like, I hate so and so.
As soon as the song ends.
My mom's mean. You know, don't say anything like that right now. Yeah, it may or may not, but it does say,
Yeah.
thanks to the beauty of Spotify, they will tell you if it's radio friendly or not.
Nice.
Uh-huh. Does hell, ass, damn qualify?
Well, Bart Simpson.
Don't they say shit on TV now?
You know what's funny is
Yeah.
that it is. This is my library degree coming through right now.
Yeah.
It's defined by the community, so there's not a list.
Oh.
You know the old George Carlin, things you can't say on the radio? It's not true.
Oh, yeah,
And the
okay.
truth of the matter is, if we were on after 10 o'clock, it would open up a lot more. And I was like,
Oh,
it's a
sure.
college campus. It's,
Yeah.
You know.
But we're
What they
in the
say.
neighborhood
Yeah.
that are raising families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
the
But
broadcast.
so there aren't any. I mean, we just like no F-bombs or anything else that you think would be a king daddy above that.
Mm-hmm.
But and then try, you know.
Yeah.
During COVID, I remember we interviewed, so we did all the Zoom interviews, and then all bets are off. You know, you do whatever you want.
Right.
But there happened once, this young woman,
Oh,
and I was like, oh, note to self, she will never be in the studio.
Oh, yeah. Some people just,
I just-
speak. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was probably
Very
like,
truly.
yeah.
I like a good swear, but yeah.
Oh, I'm
I'm expressive, but yeah.
My kids grew up knowing there were mama words.
Oh,
No, the worst is being married to somebody from Ireland and you're the one who sweared like a sailor.
I love your bracelet so much, by the way.
Thank you. It went
like your
to the
baby.
Rose Bowl. It's somebody, but I don't know what. And my eyes are too old. I don't know the name, but yeah, it was my gift to myself because yeah, I haven't found that person that thinks I'm great to be loved either. So I decided I could love myself.
There you go.
Yeah, we
Damn
love
it.
ourselves, and we are worthy of love.
Yes.
Yeah.
My parents celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary in
Oh,
September, and I wrote a song.
Nice.
Yes, and so I played it at a show, and I was like, I know I'll never be married for 60 years, and there's like 2% of marriages last that long.
Yeah.
And then my girlfriend said, we'll be friends for 60 years.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting to this.
Done and done. Oh yeah.
What we'll do is we'll kind of wrap it up.
Here, I'll put this in
The
the middle.
odds are good that the next DJs won't show up because it's spring break. But just in case they do, we try to be respectful of the 1 o'clock and then be out of their space. So we'll kind of ask you about the.
We have like 2
show.
seconds.
Can you get the live stream camera to show all of us?
It's done, honey.
That was Claire Doyle with You and My
Guitar.
Guitar. All right. Sometimes you're doing things that visually look weird and you're on the radio. So we're just going to go with it.
Great.
Thank you all so much for being with us. Tell us what you can about the show. What are all the things we need to know?
The green room is beautiful and incredible, and it's the first time I'm playing with my band and playing my own stuff there. I've gone to a lot of events there, and I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this for months, and Claire and Katy and Emmy are incredibly talented, and I'm so excited to be a part of this bill. I can hardly stand it.
That's what I have to say.
Yeah. I feel like we're all feeling that way. Like super excited to like not just play the green room, but also fangirl it up for a couple hours. Yeah, it's all doors are at 7, and I'm kicking it off at 7:30 with my band, and then I'm looking forward to just like putting my feet up and watching these ladies rock out. So yeah.
So be there at 7.
Be there at
Yeah.
7.
It's a fun vibe. It's a fun hang.
Mm-hmm.
There are drinks. There's food.
And isn't there a vintage shop?
Yes, there is
Yes.
a vintage shop. Oh my gosh, how could I?
Our friends at Back Pocket Vintage are going to be there, and it sounds like they're going to make some special T-shirts for the event too.
Yes, they were going to say Leading Ladies of Americana Green Room, March 23rd, 2024, and then our 4 names on it. And they're going to do keychains and bandanas and cowboy hats.
It's the only merch that I have.
Yes, but they have the capacity to make it right there on site.
Incredible.
And so they've got blank t-shirts and sweatshirts. So if you fall in love with this super soft green sweatshirt, they can merch it up for you.
That's incredible.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Yay.
That's and maybe this could be a first annual.
That sounds good to me.
I like it.
Because March, March is a great month. It's Women's History Month. We need to pause and focus on all of the women that have made history and honor that. And thank you to women,
Yes.
Anne and Heather, for having us here. Mostly Minnesota Music Platform is amazing. Not just your radio show, but your blog too. Thank you.
Thank you. On that note, we can leave. No. Thank you so much. We will go back to the music. What should we hear?
We have, who do I have?